Yo, what's good, folks? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're in the world. This is Tyrus Bain. Welcome to the Definition of Anarchy channel, where today I'm going to talk about Mayor de Blasio's response to the Supreme Court taking up a case where they're going to look into whether or not it's unconstitutional to keep you from being able to carry your firearm outside your house. And this is going to be a very important case. We'll see what they do in the Supreme Court. I mean, it's supposed to be a conservative majority, but, we'll see what happens. I mean, you never know. But anyway, what this guy says in response to that is completely tyrannical, and it lets you know what these people think. You know what I mean? So anybody who's for gun control, this is how they think, and it's very telling. Okay, it's very telling what he's going to say here. Pay attention.
Step in the wrong direction. I mean, we are here fighting gun violence. We need to turn the corner in 20.
Who's gun violence? He's fighting gun violence. Who is that? Is that a group? Is that a terrorist group? Is it a gang? Is it what is it? I mean, what is it that we're fighting? It's like the drug war, a war against drugs. Who you going to war against drugs? I don't think so. This is about controlling the people. This is what this is about, right? This is what this is about. It has nothing to do with gun violence. He hasn't been fighting gun violence. No, he hasn't. He hasn't even been fighting the people that commit violence using firearms, right? The gang members, the mobsters, crooked cops. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's fighting that, right? What they're doing is they're investigating something that's already happened, and then you throw some people in jail, and then next thing you know, somebody else is taking their place. Let's keep going.
21, by working with communities to really turn things around. And what do we have in the middle of that? The Supreme Court's going to consider making it easier for people to walk around with a gun? I mean, that's just backwards. And
No, what's backwards is you think it's backwards to make it easier for people to walk around with their firearm. That's what's backwards. Because guess what? The Second Amendment says the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And you have infringed upon those rights to the utmost degree, right? To the highest degree. I mean, the Second Amendment is Swiss cheese in New York, in other states, California, in the entire United States, as a matter of fact. But this is his problem, right? Yeah, that's the point. And that's why we take these things to court, so that we can, that's why they take it to court, because they actually believe in the system and think that that's the only avenue to obtain and retain your rights. We know that's not true, but if this is what makes progress to a degree, I mean, it makes some progress, right? If the court actually decides, Supreme Court says that it's unconstitutional to keep people from being able to carry their firearm outside their house, that's a huge victory. But there's still more battles to fight. But as you can see, this guy is very upset that people would actually have the right to keep and bear arms less infringed in his state.
dangerous. So I heard that news and my heart sank. I mean, we have come so far to try and keep guns out of the hands of New Yorkers, particularly young people. And the Supreme Court, it looks like they're working.
You hear that? They've worked so hard to keep the guns out of the hands of New Yorkers, particularly young people. Not the criminals. He didn't mention the criminals. He didn't mention the murderers, the robbers, the thieves, because you can't do it. They'll get their shit on the black market. No, they don't want you to have it because they don't want you to rise up against them if they try to pull some bullshit. And that's what his concern is, how much power and control he will lose over the people. If people are able to walk about freely with their firearms in the state of New York, imagine what could happen. The empowerment. Imagine people would empower themselves to go train in the proper and safe use of that firearm and defend themselves and not need the government so much to do so. People would start to wake up like, look, man, look what I can do on my own. I don't need the police. As a matter of fact, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to get to you fast enough if you're a victim of a crime. No, you have to be able to stop the crime yourself. You have to stop yourself from being a victim. Stop relying on the government to keep you from being a victim. because that just makes you a victim, right? They're not going to do
In overtime to put guns right back in those hands. That really, really worries me.
it. It worries him that people would be able to exercise their right to keep their arms. This is how these people think, okay? This is how they think. These gun controllers, the Bloombergs, all these people, right? The CNNs, all these pundits that are talking about how dangerous gun violence is and it's an epidemic. Joe Biden, all these people. This is how they really think. They are worried about guns getting into the hands of the people because of the level of power it would bring to those people. Yes, it would bring you some level of power. It would level the playing field. It would empower you. You would go out and train. You would go out and drill. You would, you know what I'm saying? You'd be able to live in your house with them and not have to worry about the police just being able to stop you and take your shit for no reason. But one thing we have to watch out for, though, if the Supreme Court deems it unconstitutional, this is going to send a shockwave throughout the entire nation. More states are going to have to be like, we can't do this anymore, right? Because it'll set a precedent, and people will begin to be able to take their firearms and go and walk about freely with their firearms, concealed or open carry, whatever the case may be, without a grueling permit process where they're having you come out the ass with money, and they don't even have to give you the permit, right? You demonstrate that you're a law-abiding citizen, and you pass the background check, and you have a good reason. You shouldn't have. First of all, you don't need to have a reason, right? It's your business why you want to carry a firearm. You shouldn't have to give a reason, but this is what they require. And even after you do all that, they don't have to give it to you. Just like in California, it's a may issue state. You can demonstrate everything that they want you to demonstrate to get that firearm, but they can say, you know what, fuck you, you don't get to get it. And that's the biggest problem right there. And there's many other problems. I mean, come on. This would just be the tip of the iceberg if they're able. The Supreme Court takes this up and says, you know what, this ain't right. That you can't do this constitutionally. That'll be the tip of the iceberg. There'll be many more battles to fight. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. This is, it warms my heart to know that he's worried about this. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. Do whatever you want to do. Peace out, all right? And let's keep marching forward toward freedom, people.